This is Debbie Williams, and the day is January the 28th, 2021, Thursday. And today I have three special guests. One is my co-host that will be with me regularly. And also I have Melvin Punch and Louis, I can't pronounce his last name, Hewins, and he will pronounce his name. And we today are talking about Child Protective Services, and we're going to give pertinent information to people. We have a 30-minute show, and I want to say welcome. And also, this is Families and Children's Justice Organization, and I want to tell people a little bit about myself. My name is Debbie Williams. I'm a host of WHBR TV 33. I have a bachelor's degree in social work. I'm an activist, and also I used to be a member of Michigan Welfare Rights, and I was elected in the past as a precinct delegate. And today we're talking about things that people should know about family court, about the foster care system, about, didn't I say, Child Protective Services, and more. So thank you for being here, watching this show with us. Hi, everyone. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for inviting me onto your show. It's an honor. Me and you have talked over the past years trying to address this issue of the Child Protective Services. And I was hoping for an opportunity to speak to Mr. Michael Williams of the Orchards Children's Services, because I really did want to have his input on, his perspective from the corporate side of Child Protective Services.
And could you tell our audience your name?
Oh, this is Melvin Punch. I'm sorry.
And tell them where you're from.
I'm originally from the Bronx, New York, but I hail from Worcester, Massachusetts, and I run a small residential homeless shelter here, Laura Shelter House, and I'm a family rights activist also. I try to, shine a light on the dark places of this Child Protective Services system in America, which has caused so much harm to so many. So, but I wanted to say that I'm proud to be with advocates such as yourself, who have been in the struggle for many years now, trying to expose this injustice. And we hope that this new administration will, carry the football further than the last one did.
Right.
I'm joined by Louis Ewing. Mm-hmm. He's one of another advocate that's he's nationally recognized, but he's villainized also because he's an attorney, and he actively fights Child Protective Services. Now we're joined with, this is your co-host. Hi, how are you, my dear?
I'm Sonia. You talking to me?
Yes, I am.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sonia Cannon. I'm an attorney in the Metro Detroit area. I don't even know how I ended up in this area of the law, but I did. And I am always humbled. Really, truly, I say that, and I guess you never know why God sets you on the path that he sets you. But like you said earlier, when you came on, I'm the one that's humbled because, in a lot of ways, I can be viewed as being a part of this system. And I know the heartache that brings up for people,
Well, let's take a break right there.
So the
You're
people,
part of the system. Mm-hmm. Now, here I was like, ready to send you a Valentine's Day card.
You can still send me one. So here's the thing. Here's what I love about Debbie Williams. Let me just put this out there. Okay. I heard something lately about this is what Debbie does. She provides a format for the conversation, and she invites people into the conversation, because here's the reality of the system that we're working in. Okay. The one that really causes a lot of strife for families, right? And all kinds of families, by the way, is that unless we start talking about it, And unless we start bringing to what happens to people who have to go through this to other people's attention, okay, nobody's going to pay attention.
Well,
Okay?
we have 30 short minutes, well, probably about 22 short minutes to bring the point home. So hopefully we have another opportunity, but you're an attorney. Now, I'm affiliated with Mr. Lewis Ewing. Now, if you know anything about the family rights movement, parental rights movement, you probably heard of him. He's kind of like the pariah of the whole thing. But Lewis is one of the most knowledgeable and dedicated individuals that I know. And, well,
let him talk. Let
Debbie
him talk,
herself,
and
of course, now that I mentioned
let him go on and talk. Go ahead,
But
Lewis.
Lewis, is anything that you would like to convey to our esteemed colleague right here on the air right now?
Sure. My name is Lewis Ewing. You pronounce my last name Ewing, the E, you pronounce it like a U. That's for Debbie Williams, so she knows how to pronounce my name. I'm self-trained. I'm self-trained in the law. You know, I took like 3 paralegal courses about 25 years ago. I started making regular trips to the law library. Okay. Anyway, I became pretty well known in the court system. I've actually been one of a very rare people. Maybe
Just curious, no?
No, she.
I was listening to him. I was assuming that he was about to get into, what it is that he does.
Right. So I'm just saying the effectiveness of it. You're coming at it from you're board certified,
But let's,
you're qualified,
Melvin.
and you've
Melvin.
been in the trenches now.
Hi,
for
Melvin.
a
Do you
number
hear
of
me,
years.
Melvin?
Yeah, I mean,
Melvin.
look, I don't, at the end of the day, I don't know if we're here to talk about each
Melvin,
other's qualifications.
right, that's
if you're
right.
working in
Melvin.
other people's pain, you're working
Right.
in other people's pain.
That's right.
And I thought really that's what Debbie does,
Yes.
is she introduces people to one another, puts them together. And so
Right.
I don't really know if it even matters
Could
that
you
I'm
hear
a
me?
lawyer, that I'm a board
Right.
certified lawyer. I started out as a foster care worker.
Right.
I, worked for DHS. I've represented DHS in child abuse proceedings. I've represented children. I've represented parents. So I guess what's important is problem solving.
Right, that's what I hear.
When
This is what we here
when Debbie
for.
invites me to do
Right,
something, that's
that's
what I
right.
think about. That's what comes
Melvin,
to mind.
Melvin, could you hear
Well,
me? Melvin,
no real
they can't hear
statement
me.
has ever been made,
I'm trying to
so,
tell them
all
to
right.
stop.
I will shut up now.
He can't
Debbie,
hear
I
me.
think you take the floor because I'm about to
Hello?
fall on my face here.
Hello, hello. Could you hear me? Could you hear me?
But anywho,
They can't hear me.
so
Where is she at?
That's what I'm saying. They saying,
she's
where am
there.
I?
She's hovering in the background. But now,
So can I ask
Tell-
you a question? This is so.
Tell her
I
to come
think
here.
what I'm seeing right now is
Oh
a
my
national
God. I have to get
movement
off the
for
phone.
incarcerated parents to, be able to reunify with their children and working with that. My question
that's
is,
a very little known aspect of this whole thing. Not too many people are aware of that, the incarcerated parents aspect of it. I've collaborated with I don't like to put people's names out there, but Fritzy Hortz.
Hello? Hello? I've been trying to say hello for the longest. I want to stop the conversation right now because what we hear is not to ask attorney Sonia Cannon about what she think about another person professional
I'm sorry,
career.
Debbie.
Yeah, that is out of place for me. That's not what we're here for. We're here.
sincerely apologize.
Yes, that was
I was
wrong.
waiting for you to come in,
What-
Debbie, because
what-
I was like
no, I
stumbling
couldn't.
all over the place.
Let me finish. I couldn't intervene because the mic was off and I kept saying hello, 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 trying to get your attention. That is not what we're here for. I'm
sorry,
it's
Debbie.
not here to ask my co-host about someone else's credentials, and we were not here, and I had also spoke that to you all. We're not here for her to answer any legal problems. What I'm here for, I have a video about CPS corruption and about things like in this order.
Okay.
When child
I got you,
welfare
Debbie.
come to the courthouse, everyone,
How much?
they
how
do
much
not.
time you have?
When child welfare come to the courthouse, they do not ask for affidavit or a document. They come on the judge or the referee does not ask for things in that order. They only go by hearsay information. And we, like my co-host said, Sonia, she said that we're here for resolution. We're here for problem solving about what we can do to stop the injustice on parents. And also,
Okay.
I want to say that, like I always started off, I always say that we have good attorneys, prosecutors, because I can tell you about a story, and they did not do me with injustice about my oldest granddaughter when CPS come in with some false information. So we have good supervisors, we got good people. There's good people, just like it's bad people out here, and we know that kids be abused and neglected, and we're not talking about kids that's being abused and neglected. I have a situation where I have a grandson who was in the hospital and as a preemie because the mother uterus was short. She had a short uterus. CPS will come on the case and they will say things like, the baby was born 26 weeks gas station. Then they'll say the mother had drug problems and try to make it seem like by distorting the information and not putting the complete information up there, they try to make it seem like the mother delivered her baby because of drug use. And then at this time with this one child, the mother did not have drugs in her system. His name was Malik Tyler Tucker. He didn't have drugs in the system, or his mother, but they never even mentioned that. They didn't even bring up the meconium test. Matter of fact, they'll go and say things like when the parents still have their parental rights and the kid is in foster care, they will call the hospital up and tell the hospital to not to give the parents the medical records. We're talking about things like that. We're talking about things where when parents want to record the CPS worker or different ones and they get upset. And then they know you recording them, then that's where now you can't get your children because they saying you acting irate. And when you're not.
Yes.
So again.
Okay. I stand corrected. Thank you, Debbie, for that. But the Michigan Department of Human Services is agency recognized by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Children's Bureau, as responsible for administering federal child welfare programs under Title 4B, 4E, and Title 20 of the Social Security Act. Now, it all comes down to the nutshell that even though the Department of Children and Families or CPS, whatever acronym they want to use, and then the hospital system also falls under the auspices of the Department of Health and Human Services. And so many children are being taken direct from the hospitals. Now, I was just to talk to this individual from the Orchard Children's Services. They've been 50 years in there, but their grant from Michigan, along with the Judson, which are the two biggest recipients of the funding under, Orchard Children's Services didn't start entering into adoptions until 1986. And that was just prior to the Clinton Act. So it's just all very perplexing. And you're right, Debbie, we can't stress on people's qualifications or, what this person's.
Is it okay if I jump in? Because I really want to touch on something before our time comes out.
Yes,
and that's the issue.
Go ahead. Sonia.
Yeah, so
definitely.
You definitely brought up something that kind of gets me upset. When you have a protective services worker come out to your house, okay, they are required by law. The law states the first thing they need to tell you is why they are at your home, okay? So this is the part where, for me, as an attorney, it's easy. Because as a lawyer, I get to say to the worker, what is it that you're out here for? I need to know. The law says that this is what you're out here for, or that you have to tell me. But as a parent or a relative or somebody that's out in the community, you know what? This is my worry. This is the people that I feel bad for, the people that can't afford to come to me, the people that don't have a lawyer at their house. And they're out there, and I know for a fact that there are people put in position where they're not told why the worker's out there. They're asked to do certain things that that they don't even know why they're being asked to do these things. By the way,
let the police officers show up with them.
Let me finish this thought. So this is something that in the future, Debbie, I'd like to focus on, is having some resolution on helping people work through these things. Because you're right, Debbie, the minute you try to record or the minute you try to do something to assert yourself in these situations, then now you're viewed as, oh, well, you're crazy. Well, you're hard to deal with.
Yes,
well, you're this and you're that.
Adversary relationship with Department of Human Service. You don't trust them is the word.
Right.
These are the theme words, Sonia. The theme words that is irate, adversary relationship, and hard to deal with, and don't trust the social worker or Department of Human Services. And that's not true.
They say I'm aggressive because I'm a big black guy.
Something like that.
I'm not going to be like, upset if they tell me that, okay, my visit's going from once a week to once a month.
Right.
And, I'm not going to, react adversarially, but I mean, for Christ's sake, I'm going to be upset. And then they record that and say, you're an aggressive black person. And they portray me as character assassination.
And notice the mirror, I think, this point that you've just made, Mr. Punch. Notice the mirror between what we talk about police brutality, right? Notice the mirroring problems on this end of it, of Child Protective Services. Notice that these people are out here, these caseworkers, some of which, by the way, are my best of friends that I love. I have deep heart for, okay? Really? I'm going to say that. So, but the thing is we need to have.
You are my new best friend after you said that.
No. That doesn't mean I can't have an opinion about the way things are done. Okay. So the thing is why is it that we have a system that allows for these situations to occur in the community without a check? Now, I can tell you, I've read articles about putting cameras on the CPS workers, much like the police officers.
We need it.
And I support it.
I support it.
I support it. Put a camera on them.
That's right.
There's going to be no confusion how they went out to the house. And you know what? It's safety for them too. It'll serve everybody well.
Yes.
And you know what? Now that I saw how easy they've been dispersing out money and stuff like that, it doesn't seem that unaffordable to me.
I've never heard Louis so silent before. It's like chirping. It's like chirp, chirp, chirp.
No, I just want to say this. I want to intervene. I was going to say, Mr. Punch and Mr. Ewing, that what is your part into being interested in Child Protective Service? So you just let the public know that you have a situation with a personal situation with Child Protective Services. Thank you. So let people know. Let people know what was your interest. Why are you so interested in?
Why?
Yeah.
It's because it's an injustice. It's a stain upon this, I don't know, great, not so great heritage of this country. I have a personal interest, a vested interest. They took two sons from me. And Louis, if I can mention.
He can mention himself. Let him talk, please.
But he had a child die in this system.
You should let him tell that himself.
Okay.
Yeah, listen, let him talk. Mrs.
No, I'm not saying anything.
No, I'm waiting for my turn. I'm just being polite.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
It's been your turn. You missed 5 turns already.
I think it's your turn, Louis.
Okay, I didn't catch the attorney's name. What was your name?
Sonia.
Yeah, I wanted to capture on what you were saying about the recording. I put out free flyers. They're self-help flyers for people who can't afford a lawyer, they can't afford an attorney, they can't afford a law firm, they can't afford me. They're 2-page documents, and people can convert them to a 1-page double-sided flyer. But I have a flyer showing that you have the right to secretly record police officers, social workers without their permission. The case is called Devin Peck et al. Versus Alford, 543 U.S. Reporter, page 146, December 13, 2004. But it has the case law in my flyer from the U.S. Supreme Court, the Ninth Circuit, and some Washington state decisions that says you have the right to secretly record police officers and social workers guardian
Louis,
ad litem, public
how is
defenders.
that relevant to the conversation? Wait a
don't
minute.
need to,
How is that relevant to the conversation, Louis? How is social workers fall under the realm of police officers? Is that what you're implying?
But we saying
she was
to
talking about recording.
we do need recordings. Because if you
Sonia
don't
was
have
talking about
recordings,
recording.
yes.
I see.
Yeah, and my position is, Louis, like, I don't know about the law you're talking about, and I believe you that you could far out-talk me on any case law. But my point is let's put the baby to rest. Let's put the baby to rest. Let's just have these encounters recorded and paid for by these agencies so that we know from minute one to the minute end, this is what happened. Because when the problem is when clients record, and every state is different with their recording requirements, by the way. So there may be federal law, but the state, right, Michigan has their own requirements, might be different, is that people will start recording when it's convenient. Litigants, respondent parents are looked down upon. The minute you're a parent on a CPS investigation, the assumption is you've done something wrong. Okay. Yeah. So your recording is all of a sudden.
Debbie, I'm so glad. Right. I'm sorry.
So we do have a new administration, and we do have, I think, I hope that they will commit to doing those things.
They won't. It's not going to be viable. It's not going to be economically advantageous to the states. It's not going to happen. It's just like, excuse me, but it's not going to happen. It's going to have to be a ground roots movement with people that are saying,
You cannot swear. I had already said that to everyone. You cannot swear. Well, let's just take a rest right now, Mr. Punch. I don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
I think you're tired.
I'll opt out for now.
I think you're tired. I understand. I think the way you're talking right now.
About this thing.
I know you frustrated.
I'm a veteran.
Everything.
I'm a disabled veteran, and I swore an oath to the Constitution, and our elected officials have as well, but they are just ignoring their oath and letting our rights be violated as parents. We have parental rights that are enshrined in the Constitution of the United States. That's what I'm fighting for. If I can put my life on the line as a soldier and swear an oath to the Constitution, then our elected officials can as well and support parental rights.
I just want to thank you, because I can't even imagine. You deserve, the accolades of the world, and you do deserve the every benefit of our Constitution. And I'm sorry for the pain that you've experienced. I really am.
I am too.
I'm forged in the fire of it. I signed up for this.
And that's an interesting thing too. Programs for veterans, right? In CPS, they have them in drug court. They have them in, all kinds of courts. So, there's nothing that I've heard of that has a special program for parents that, are parenting children when they come back from fighting for this country. So, these are all things that, call me optimistic, but I agree with you. One thing, Mr. Punch, you said that I agree with, it's a grassroots movement. That's why I love Debbie, because that's what she does. She makes these movements happen.
I've loved Debbie for years.
Sonia, let me jump in right there. I have formed two groups that are going to be the grassroots movement. One is called Louis Ewing Operation Greylord CPS groups, named after the famous FBI sting operation that sent more public officials to prison, more than 100. And out of those 100 public officials that went to prison, more than 30 state superior court judges went to prison. My secondary group, Louis Ewing CPS Financial Crimes Investigation Squads, they're both on Facebook. That's for parents whose parental rights have already been terminated. But my first group, Louis Ewing Operation Greylord CPS groups, is for parents that are still currently fighting the system. And you and Debbie Williams are absolutely right that we need solutions. Okay. And I have a lot of solutions. Like, for example, there's not a single attorney in the United States that has ever brought a Frank's motion into a CPS family court proceeding to challenge the perjured testimony. And a lot of attorneys out there are either ignorant of the law or they're corrupt and they're part of the system, and they're telling people.
Whoa, you
use a
just threw
Frank's
a gauntlet
motion.
down. Wait a minute. I don't
You-
think you should have said that, Louis.
Okay.
Frank-
Louis,
Hello, everyone. We have 3
rewind from the
minutes.
way you just said.
Okay.
Debbie, why don't you put the closing in on since
Yeah,
we have 3 minutes? Because you always have lovely things to say.
Yeah,
I'm so
we
sorry.
have.
It was a
Yes.
pleasure meeting you.
Okay.
Louis, you're an idiot. And you're a good friend of mine, but I think you need to make an apology. But it's all good.
A Frank's motion has never been used in all 50 states ever.
You guys, we have 3 minutes, and I want Sonia to end it. And
Yes,
the only
ma'am.
thing I want to say is that this is a serious situation, as we all know, and there's a lot of ins and out that we know that's going on our end, and then how the attorneys know what's going on in their end. And so this is what this program is about. And I'm going to show a video in about 3 minutes, but I want Sonia to end it. And I just want to say, Mr. Punch, I
Send
know,
Sonia my email,
Mr. Punch,
Debbie.
yes.
Send Sonia my email. I want to hook up with her. I mean,
Okay,
well,
okay, don't worry about that. It would happen.
Don't worry
So
about that.
what I want to say, I understand your pain because I've been there, and I know you hurt every day about your 3 beautiful
Oh, it ain't that
sons.
serious. Debbie. Let's get back with the show. You already
So-
got 2 minutes.
Okay, all right then. Okay,
Play,
Sonia, go ahead.
No, I mean, I actually think you just said it. I mean, there's a difference between people who have been in the system, and like, there's no way that I could ever, as an attorney, relate. Okay, so the things that you've been through, okay, and other people have been through, because at the end of the day, it's not my children. Okay, but that's the whole point. All right, is imparting the trauma of those actions that we decide to take in CPS world, and recognizing and understanding what it does. More importantly, let me just finish this. Not just to adults, right? But to who? To who? To the children, right? Okay,
Yes, that makes
that's
it
the thing.
tough.
So I
You're
think,
taking all the pain
Debbie,
of the world.
Debbie, are you
That's
gonna
not
play your
good.
video?
yes, I want to say this in the bit. Hello.
It's an impact, no doubt.
Right. Now, I want to say in the video, at the end of the video, you're going to notice my daughter was talking to the medical record department at St. Joe Hospital. And my daughter had not video, but recorded it. Okay. She's asking for her medical records. She had put in her medical records in August. And then September, she was wondering why her medical records didn't come for her son, Malik Tyler Tucker. So soon as she called, they already was waiting on her. And they told my daughter that she could not get her medical records because the foster care agency, some worker, told them not to give it to her, but she still had her parental rights. Her parental rights was not terminated. They were not terminated at all. And that's the scary part. The hospitals and the different people CPS contact, they will contact people behind your back and tell them that
Debbie, we need to shut them down from the federal court, from the Department of Justice, from the Department of Health and Human Services in Washington, D.C. We need to make a concerted effort, have a letter writing campaign, email campaign, Twitter campaign, and we need to get them from Washington. Right now, while this new administration is still trying to gain a foothold. I mean, get their footing. So if we come in right now on some of the advances that were made during the Trump administration, I think that we have more of a chance of success with people advocating like yourself,
Okay.
Sonia, and Louis. And I think we have a
Let me
real
finish this
vital-
off. Thank you. Let me finish this off. Let me
Yes,
get
ma'am.
back to this point. So what I see, Child Protective Service got a cultural thing that they do. They will contact the hospitals and different places. They'll find out where you work at. If your child is just was born or the baby was sick or something in the hospital, they contact and tell these professionals things to do, and they think it's okay to do it. Well, the social worker told me not to release your medical records. Well, the social worker told me not to give your child's meconium test to you, to the parent. So this is where the hospital need to be trained. Excuse me for a minute. This is where the hospital staff need to be trained and understand the rights of the child and the parents. I can't hear anything.
They get a bonus for these kids that they take.
Okay, so
They
we're
have
getting
a-
ready to, we know that, but what I'm saying is there's a culture that happens where they communicate to professionals that don't know better, and they think because it's Child Protective Services that it's okay to violate. They don't know they violating parents' rights because CPS is telling. So we have to get ready to go. Now we're going into the informational video of mine. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Please stand and state your names for the record in the Sanaya Jones matter. Please step to the podium.
Chantel Tucker, Mom.
Thank you, Ms. Tucker. Please have a seat at the table.
Your Honor, good afternoon. Julie Sisson on behalf of petitioner.
Good afternoon, Ms. Sisson.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Denise Burris, Department of Human Services and petitioner.
Good afternoon, Ms. Burris.
May it please this Court, our office, the Washington County Public Defender's Office, has been assigned this matter. I am James Kincaid for this record, representing minor child lawyer guardian ad litem.
Thank you, Mr. Kincaid. This matter is before the court for a preliminary hearing. Ms. Burris, did you provide Ms. Tucker with a copy of the petition?
Yes.
All right. There are no amendments to the petition at this point, Ms. Sisson?
None that we're aware of, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Tucker, do you have a copy of the petition here with you? If not, Ms. Burris, if you could hand her another copy, or you're welcome to make one from the court's file. I don't have any extras. Ms. Tucker, the petition alleges as follows. One, said mother, Chantella Tucker, date of birth 12/23/1983, is the biological mother of, is it Sanaya? Thank you. Sanaya Jones Tucker, date of birth 5/29/2012, who was born in Washtenaw County. Count 2 alleges on or about 5/30/2012, Ms. Tucker reported that she does not know who is the father of Sanaya Jones Tucker. 3, Sanaya Jones Tucker remains at the University of Michigan Hospital because she was born at 26 weeks gestation. 4, said mother has 3 other children, Malik Tucker, date of birth 6/8/2009, Asha Tucker, date of birth 8/18/2008, and Oriana Jones, date of birth 2/5/2006. 5, said mother, Chantella Tucker, had her rights terminated to Asha Tucker in December 2008. 6, on or about 4/11/2011, Ms. Tucker's parental rights were involuntarily terminated to Malik Tucker due to substance abuse, physical neglect, and failure to protect.
Like 6 months, 6.5 months, 7 months. And his name is Malik. And she was pregnant with Malik and had him early because of the way her body is, again with the short uterus. Later they said the baby was born drug addicted and the baby was not born drug addicted. Trudy Fortino telling me she's a supervisor of Orchard Children's Services, CEO person, and she's saying that my grandson was born drug addicted, and the quality insurance worker, her name is Lisa Finger, and this is at the end. I'm going to let you guys hear the end, and you're going to hear the beginning later. Okay, here we go.
Mrs. Coleman, now, why would they want to come and represent me? But my daughter was using drugs. You know it's a great possibility. You know? I'm not the doctor. I don't know anything. Okay, there really wasn't a question about whether or not he was drug-exposed. He was. Okay, it's not a possibility. I don't know, again, they don't discuss to me about my grandchild. Let me just say, I was so protective services, when they came out, they removed the child because the kid was from the baby from the hospital. I know. Because at birth, he tested positive for drugs. Okay. That is why that's why protective services got involved. Had it not been any sort of drugs in his system, he wouldn't have done this. Okay. So when the you're going into something that we don't disagree with. Okay. I want to thank you. So the protective services would not have met with grandma. They were dealing with the birth order up front. Now, do they go to the protective services look at that? Okay. We got to when a file petition for removal, are there any relatives? The protective services contact you at all at this firm? No. So you went to the hospital, you never had any conversation with protective services. Again, I put my right hand up to God. No, I'm sorry. No, let me say this. No. I called Miss Taylor. I called her. That's all I'm saying. I always, when I found out who the worker was, because I got emails. That's my email. This shows my email how I was trying to find out that from every since 2008. I'm not going to submit that all of it. I'm not going to leave it right now. 2008. Yes, the 2000. I mean, not 2000. When the kid was from 2008, from all the way to whatever it has here, here's the information. All I can give you is all information that I have, that I've been trying to find out who was the worker, what should I do. I want my grandchildren. You weren't there in 2008. I should have them all the way. I'm just telling you. Oh, yeah. I'll be good. Well, she's a year old. I've been going up to the there would be no question as to whether or not, whether or not there's support. But that's not what she was. Just a moment there. What she was questioning was why she could not be the person where the children could be safe. That's what it is. You know, I say protect the service with it. And I'm going to deal with that. I'm going straight to Israel on that. Then that's the follow block there. The other thing is, Deborah had just been out there trying to feel her way. She don't know what's going on. And like I said, I just want to keep reiterating the point that, again, she never denied, God never stated that. That she was without her mind that the child, her grandchild, may have been drug addicted. She never stated that. She never thought it. She never said it. I just want to keep hammering that point home because that's one of the reasons why you can question her ability to bring out this child from the place in her country. And my thing is, I just want to keep hammering home that point that she never said that. You heard it stated right here. Okay, so I really would, kind of like us to kind of move on from that. I just want to say this, please. I've had conversations. First, I was talking to Ms. Taylor on the phone. Okay, I talked to her on the phone. Many times, I even told her, I said, Ms. Taylor, I'm going to record our conversation. Even the first meeting, I told her and her supervisor, I said, I'd like to record the conversation because not have it on tape right now. No. I said, well, if this going to be truth and so there will be no inaccuracy, why can't we record the conversation? You can hear it. I have it. Okay? And this is my conversation with Ms. Taylor. Everything. I never. If I had that in my soul and my spirit, I would have.
Okay, now here's the beginning.
I have had the opportunity to go with Deborah to the Washtenaw Department of Human Services, where we didn't end up with no evidence from the worker who was supposed to be investigating this situation for the department, saying we was trying to find out why she could not visit her children, her grandchildren. They didn't have nothing against her. They had something against Deborah's daughter, talking about neglect. But if you would really go into the case, they never did really investigate any neglect on the part of the daughter.
So they didn't do a proper type of assessment or whatever. And later on, my daughter asked them for like a letter about what was wrong with her child. She wanted everything in a letter. And so they gave her this letter right here. If the camera can take this picture here, from Dr. Weiner. And if you, from the information, here it never said that my grandson, Malik Tyler Tucker, was born drug addicted. This was the only medical document my daughter received. Well, from Dr. Weiner. And then the next information came from the social worker from St. Joe Hospital. Her name is Lillian Sachs. And my daughter asked her first, and she talked to Dr. Weiner, and these two people provided this information, and also these other three. And it says here, it says my daughter was not, her and her baby did not have drugs in the system when she delivered the baby. Neither one of them. So I'm going to read it. It says, attach an info relating to Shantella Tucker drug screens, both during her pregnancy and at the time of delivery, all of which were negative. Please call me if I can provide further. Thank you. Lillian Sachs. She's a social worker at St. Joseph Mercy Hospital. And then she gave us this information with the lab test from the hospital when my daughter was, when she delivered the baby before. It says negative all the way through.
All I could see on the part of the Department of Human Services and Orchard Children's Services, thank you, is that they were trying to cover their tracks of what they should have done. But this speaks to a lot of folks' children that are being snatched and not being able to be reunified with their children, because that's not in the best interest of the Department of Human Services.
Yeah, so I just want to ask, so you really knew that baby wasn't born drug addicted?
That's what they told us at the hospital when we went there. Neither one of them. I sure all of that. That's exactly what they told us. Because that was one of the first questions that we had. You know, we thought of all the conditions of the baby. We go, okay, well, you know, it's related to drugs. No, the baby was clean.
Wow.
I don't know where that came from.
Yes, thank you for calling.
You want to speak with Karen?
Yeah.
Okay, we have two. Which Karen?
Medical records. The one from medical records.
Max was calling?
Shantella Tucker.
Shantella Tucker?
Yes.
Okay, one moment, please.
Today is September the 1st, and Shantella is asking for her rest. She put in request August the 23rd. Yes, on August the 25th, she put in her request, and her records wasn't processed. Or her name was processed in the computer.
Hello, this is Karen. May I help you?
Yes, I was calling to see, I came out there to fill out some papers for my medical records for my son, and they were saying that it wasn't processed.
No, it's not.
And I was wondering what was that about? Like, why is not my name in the computer?
Because my manager, Jody Swan, is dealing with this. We're not able to release records to you, and I believe she called and let you know that.
No, I never received a call.
Okay. Well, she's off until Tuesday, but I know that she'd be able to talk to you more than I could on this.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
All right, how are you?
Okay,
Who's this?
this is a friend of hers. We are recording this message right now, and we want to know why is her records not being processed. That's when she's the mother of the child and she got custody, and that's against the law.
I don't know all the specifics, but like I said, if she would call back Joy Swan, I can give you the number.
Okay, and what is your name?
My name's Karen Lewandowski.
Okay, yes, but that's strange. I never heard of that. They were holding her baby's medical records as long as she got legal custody over her child. Even if she got court ordered and she got partial legal custody, there's no way they should be holding her records. That don't sound right.
I don't know the specifics. All I know is that we are not able to release the records, and Joey has been trying to reach her, and she apparently has been unable. She said that she did leave a message.
No, she didn't. Chantel, she didn't leave a message. She would have had it because this is something very important and this is serious. So if she would have left a message, she would have had it. She have a caller ID and a cell phone.
Okay.
All right then.
Would you like Jody's number?
Yes.
It's 734 712
Yes.
3533. And she will not be back until the 7th of September.
Well, is there somebody else?
Jody's the one that's dealing with it.
No, it has to be somebody else.
What's her supervisor?
What is her supervisor?
What's the person who...
I can only talk to one person at a time.
Okay, I'm sorry. What's the number to Miss Jones' supervisor? I know somebody over her.
All right, can you hold on just a minute?
Yes.
What extent?
And who's telling you?
Oh, this is Denise.
Yes, yes, I want to know what is the reason why I can't get my son paperwork, the records, because my rights is not terminated with my son, and there should be no reason I can't get my records.
Who is this?
Chantel Tucker,
How do you spell your name?
CHANTELLA.
Your last name is Tucker?
Yes.
Okay. Who told you you couldn't get your record?
She was saying the lady, the supervisor, Miss Jody Foster or something, she was saying.
Jody Swan? Jody Swan?
Yeah, Jody Swan, man, yes.
Okay. And you talked to her yesterday?
No, she have not called me and I have not talked to her. So I was trying to talk to you because you're her supervisor, you over her. So I want to know what's the reason I can't get my son records, because I still have my paperwork that I have rights with my son, and there should be no reason I can't get my son medical records.
Is your son in foster care?
Yes, but my rights is not terminated. It don't matter. I still have my rights. My rights is not terminated or nothing. I still have rights with my son.
And this is being recorded on a tape recorder right now.
I got paperwork to show I have my rights with my son. Nothing is going. My rights is not terminated. He's in foster care, but it don't matter. I still got my son, rights. I got his birth certificate, social security card, all that, and it should be no reason I can't get my son medical records.
Okay. Who else is on the phone?
My friend, me and my friend.
Who is your friend?
It don't matter. It's and I'm recording this right now, so about this conversation, because something not right. There's no reason I can't get my son medical records. My rights not terminated with my son. I see if I had a termination
but I don't have no termination with my son. They still got to go through me to sign stuff, to do stuff for my son, or for him to go to the doctors and all that. I got to sign papers still. So I just want to know why I can't get my son medical records.
Have you talked to the social workers in foster care?
I don't have to. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Who's telling y'all not to give me my medical with my son medical records?
Hold on just a second. Let me
What's today? What's today?
Hold on just a second.
What is the day? What is the day? Hello?
You're asking me what the date is?
Yes, what's the day?
Today is September 1st.
All right, thank you.
I'm trying to find out why you can't get the records, so just hold on for a couple more minutes.
Okay, thank you. No, she on the phone. See that?
When you came to get your child's records, whenever we're going to release records, we always look through the records to make sure that we can release them.
Mm-hmm.
And in the record, it shows that the child has been taken away and put in foster care. So at that point, we have to contact the foster care worker, and we did, and she told us that the records did not be released.
Okay, can I know which foster care lady, what person said that? So I can call because that's a lie. No reason I cannot get my son, my rights not even terminated, ma'am. I still got rights. They still go through me to sign papers for my son to go to the doctor. So I want to know if I can call the workers then. Who said it? Which, you let. If not, you just can't call foster care and ask them. It has to be a specific person so I can know that you just said y'all called. So I want to know who did y'all call so I can call. Who was the person that told you that I can't get my paper, my record? I have to know that so I can call.
My understanding is when we call, that we just got a random foster care worker.
You can't do that. That's not true because you have to, if you just listen to some random foster care worker, that's not right then because you have a particular person that you talk to. You just can't talk to anybody in foster care. They don't even know me, so I have to know who y'all talk to. If y'all calling on my behalf about me not getting my son because what's in the computer, I need to know who y'all called.
Well, I'm not going to give out that information. You'll have to call foster care and get that information.
And, ma'am, I just want, can I get your name again?
My name is Denise Walking.
Because I need to know, too, because if you can't tell me, well, all this is being recorded. Thank you for letting me know this. At least I know foster care, but you can't tell me who you called about my son or me getting medical records of my son.
Okay, Chantel, I'm going to end this call right now.
All right, bye.
My name is Debbie Williams, and you just got through watching a video about state-sanctioned kidnapping, what it is, distorting information, falsifying documents, actually lying to get a child taken out of a parent's custody. And you see that my daughter, Shantella Von Tucker, how she was calling the hospital about what was the delay in her child's medical record and her medical records. At the time, she didn't get hers or the baby's, and her rights wasn't terminated. The baby was in foster care, but legally, if a child is in foster care and the parents' rights are not terminated, they can get medical records. And so this is the culture that I was talking about before, that a lot of professionals at the different hospitals and the different other businesses, when they get a call from Child Protective Service and they tell them not to do this or not to do that, they don't look at how they may be violating the parents' rights, the other organization. They only say, well, Child Protective Services say this, but parents have rights, and they don't know that. So they only go by what Child Protective Service tell them to do. And so it's just really a sad situation. And then we go back up earlier in the video where you hear the referee state about the parent, the mother it's called involuntarily lost her parental rights for her son, Malik Tyler Tucker. And they said that it was due to substance abuse, physical neglect, and failure to protect. Now, how did that happen when that was a newborn baby in the hospital? Mother never took the baby home. You see that the social worker, Lillian Sachs, gave her a medical record or documents and also her own business notes, the social worker. And she said that the mom and the baby both tests was negative for drugs. So how could it be physical neglect or anything when the mom wasn't positive for drugs and the baby wasn't positive for drugs? And what the mother was doing earlier before this baby got adopted out. All this happened like in 2009 and 2010. The baby just got adopted out in 2014. We don't know what happened, but this child just got adopted out. And the mother could not show that her baby meconium was negative because Child Protective Service and the courts wouldn't allow it. And that is what we call state-sanctioned kidnapping, holding back evidence. And this is a cultural thing that goes on that people in the public and people in the legislatures and different ones don't know this stuff is happening. And they'll take up something that happened 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and say that you did this and you did that. Well, what that have to do with present day? What do they have to do with present day? And me as a grandmother, I was trying to step in to get the child, and they wouldn't allow me to get the child. And my daughter had dual power of attorney letter. Also, there was, you guys probably didn't see that part, but you will see it later on, where my daughter had went and got guardianship. You know, she wanted me to have guardianship. It was granted to me. And on Department of Human Services policies or laws or whoever, it states that if it's an open case, a parent can give guardianship over to their family member or friend if it's an open case. So then they'll say, well, you know, the grandma or someone filed or the mother filed for guardianship under false pretenses. But it's so much more. This is going to be a series, and I definitely want to apologize to my people who was on the show earlier, like Sonia Cannon, and that we had a gentleman on there that was challenging her, and that was wrong. And I just want to say I apologize, and I didn't know this gentleman was going to do this. He knew the rules, and I just want to say I do apologize for what just happened. Thank you. Join us next month. Thank you.